Hi everybody, today I'm going to be installing an R-77 exhaust for Suzuki gsxr 600. Now I got the R-77 exhaust right here. I did install it previously and took it back off again to see what the difference is going to be. I didn't like it that it wasn't loud enough and it wasn't making much difference as far as power. So I took it off and I was going to remove the baffle. I got this baffle sitting right here. This was inside the pipe, and this was actually kind of hard to get out of it because the screw is made out of such a soft metal that it got stripped when I was trying to get it out. So I just got really mad and just drilled it out. So the baffle is out. Now to get to the baffle, normally you would just take this little rubber thing out, and you could see inside of there would be a little screw. Right now there's just a hole. That happened after I drilled the screw out in order to get the baffle. I damaged the carbon fiber a little bit on both sides when drilling, but it's nothing major and you can cover it up easy. There we go. And that's another thing. I actually recommend getting the stainless steel option for your pipe, not the carbon fiber, because it seems like the carbon fiber is very weak, and I don't know if you ever drop your bike, it's probably going to just crack right away. So get the stainless steel, it's cheaper and it probably lasts longer. Well, this is the one I got, so that's what I'm going to work with. Now this kit comes with all the parts you need for installing it on a gsxr 600 if you buy it for that model. You got to make sure you get the right one for your bike. If you got a 1000 or Hayabusa, it's going to come with a different attachment. Alright, the tools you're going to need to take off the old pipe and put on a new pipe. I mean, I just got a regular socket wrench. You're going to need a torque wrench. And also I've noticed that pretty much all the Yoshimura screws are made out of very soft material. And you got to be careful because this screw right here is nearly stripped. And I was using the right size wrenches and everything to get it loose, so it just seems to be the quality of the craftsmanship there. It comes with two little screws to hold the little heat shield up, a little spacer you're going to need. I'm also going to demonstrate how to put on these little springs. If your pipe doesn't come pre-assembled, then you're going to need to do this yourself, but it's not hard. Then we have the thing that will go around the pipe and attach it to the bike in the back. So that's all the stuff. You're also going to need an adapter for the torque wrench because you're going to need to use a 12mm socket, and it's definitely not going to fit on this giant torque wrench unless you have an adapter for it. And you can get like a 4-piece adapter set for like $8. They're not expensive. Actually, this one, I think it needs 2 adapters in order to work. The 12mm socket has a really small attachment, so I just do it that way. Now also, your Yoshimura pipe is going to come with paperwork telling you what the torque is going to be on those screws. So I'll just give you a quick shot with the instructions in case you need them. I need to use this kind of a tool. Comes with the kit. Just kind of stretch the spring on. Very easy. Probably want to have the hooks facing on the inside, just in case, so they don't catch anything. Oh, this was kind of more difficult. There we go. Alright, so that's done. Now, let's go take off the old pipe. So, first thing I do is take this little screw out of here. Shouldn't be hard. Now, Suzuki came up with like a very simple heat shield design. It only needs one screw. Now, there we go. Alright. The one thing I do like about Suzuki is that this piece here that holds the pipe that attaches it to the catalytic converter actually has a robust socket screw that is really hard to strip. I mean, you can put the right amount of torque on it and everything. With the Yoshimura, I never torqued it because I was afraid I was going to completely strip that thing. Alright, I'm not going to take out the screw completely, just loosen it. I'm going to take this thing, try to loosen this. Now what's happening here is the screw is actually just spinning, so we need another wrench to hold it on the other side. I just use an adjustable wrench because I don't want to use pliers and scratch or damage. Screw. You can see that pipe is kind of loose already. There we go. Once you loosen it up, maybe we'll just do it by hand. Yeah, there we go. Oh, you gotta save this screw because you're actually gonna use this with the Yoshimura pipe. It doesn't come with a screw kit. It just uses the original one. So hang on to it, make sure you don't lose it. Alright, now this was already loosened, so it just slides right out. Here's the old exhaust. Now, it's actually kind of smaller than the Yoshimura exhaust, and this pipe, you know, it's kind of thick here, but it's thinner here. The beauty of this original exhaust is that you never have to replace the inside part of it. Like with the Yoshimura, you have to repack it every 5,000 to 7,000 miles or less, depending on what you do. So it actually costs money to maintain. This is just kind of like maintenance free, and I think I'm probably gonna hang on to it. I'm not gonna get rid of it, so that I could maybe reattach it later. Alright, I got the R-77 ready. Now one thing I forgot to do is take out this little rubber thing here. There's a second hole near the heat shield, and the old heat shield did not require a second screw. It just rested against this rubber piece, and that was good enough for that. But with this new pipe, it's going to use 2 screws for the heat shield, so definitely need to take that out so you can put in the right part here. Because this thing is threaded here, but there's no thread, it's just a little hole right there. But we'll fix that. Let's see how that works. Alright, so we got the pipe, and I already put the little attachment on it. You gotta make sure you put the rubber in correctly. You don't want to just use the metal piece on its own. It's going to scratch your exhaust, so definitely install that. That's what it's for, so use it. I'm going to find the sweet spot here. Just kind of make sure we got this. Almost made a mistake here. Got to put this on first. Slide that on. Alright. Now at this point in the manual it says that you got to make sure that you have enough clearance on your swing arm. Remember, this thing moves up and down, so I mean, if you're going to touch, it's going to rub up against it. It's going to scratch everything. So I'm going to adjust it, make sure it's all correct. Line this up. It's really hard to get this positioning wrong, and there's really only one spot. If you go too far down or too far up, it's not going to fit, so I kind of have no option either way. This goes all the way in the back. Take the original screw that came with it. Well, this washer has to stay in the front. Make sure it's in the front and not in the back. You don't want to see just the rubber part here. If you leave that, the screw will eventually get loose. So this washer is in the front, this big thing with the washer already built in. I don't know what these are called. There goes the back. And like I said before, I never torqued this bottom piece. I just kind of tighten it enough so that it's not loose. Now, also with this, it's already nearly stripped, and the only thing that fits out of all my tools, and I got the metric and the standard set of wrenches for it, but this came out of like a furniture assembly toolkit. Not even the original Suzuki stuff fits on this, but this fits perfectly, so I'm using it. I don't know if you guys will be able to get your own wrenches. Maybe you'll have more luck. Stuff you get at the store than I did. Yeah. Just tighten it to where I can feel that it's not going to strip the screw, but it's not too loose. It's not going to rattle around. Tight enough. Alright, now we'll grab our torque wrench. And the only thing I'm going to check, to make sure this is torqued correctly. So I'm going to get the paperwork. Alright, so it says that it's supposed to be 33 pounds of torque. 33, 34 shouldn't be a big difference. And grab your secondary wrench. Start tightening. There we go. Alright, so that's 33, 34 pounds of torque on that. Now, that's the easy part. You have this washer. It's actually going to hold the screw in place for this little heat shield that they provide. It's got a little bit more noise, but right away, like, you could tell that the engine isn't running the same. I could smell like gas on the exhaust, and that's pretty much with any pipe. Whenever you change something from the factory settings, you pretty much have to have a power commander with like auto tune, or you gotta tune it up with a dyno or something for it to work perfectly with the pipe. But I'm not about to do that right now because I'm actually going to put a mid pipe on, and I'll make a video of that too. And I might do some other modifications, and I'll just get a power commander auto tune probably. So that's R-77, no baffle. I had to drill it out in order to get it out. The screw got stripped. Metal was very, weak. There's no way to get it out. So I drilled out the baffle by using the progressively larger drill bits. So started out like a really small drill bit. Drill the hole through the screw all the way to the other side on the inside, and then just kept using a bigger drill bit. And I just used the regular yellow drill bits that came with like a Ryobi drill. So that's how weak that metal is. I mean, you can just drill it with like a regular wood drill bit. And but I had to go at an angle, so it did kind of mess up fiberglass a little bit, just a tiny bit, but the baffle itself is completely messed up. There's no way I'll probably be able to use it unless I use some kind of a, I don't know, metal wire to kind of just hold it in there. But I don't know, some people say they like it the way it looks with the baffle in. I personally prefer this. Kind of seems like a bigger exhaust opening, better sound for sure.